There's a reference to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that states that family is the natural and fundamental unit of society, and hence it is entitled both to protection and support by society and state. The preamble of the Convention on the Rights of the Child also refers to the family as the fundamental group of society and the natural environment for the growth and well-being of all its members, particularly children. The Convention goes on to describe that children need to grow in an atmosphere of happiness, love and understanding as a prerequisite for their full and harmonious development. In fact, at Shanti Ashram, where we work with children, oftentimes when we show them the poster on child rights, the first one they point to is the right to love and the right to equality. And I think here is then also the obligation of the international community to think deeply. We do not have an agreed definition of the family, but the understanding of the family has been changing due to several factors, such as increased longevity, growing numbers of blended families, cohabitation, unmarried couples having children, single heads of households, childless couples, and also the views on same-sex relationships and marriages. Higher divorce rates, children outside marital unions, unintended pregnancy, and early childbearing also shape the understanding of a family today. Changing demographics and socio-economic cleavages, as well as increased conflict dynamics that force families to disintegrate. Unemployment rates among young population in parts of the world like Europe, United States have led to economic dependency on parents. I was in Italy a couple of months ago, and so many families speak of it as a new experience of children staying on with their parents. In some parts of the world, this is something that is natural and it's a continuation, but they speak about it. With parents of older age now in some of the new families that are shaping up, also childbearing and child rearing have different implications. Smaller families, shrunken families. Well, this is true for some parts of the world. Still, in the part of the world that I come from, South Asia, in Africa, and Latin America, while we share some of these common global experiences of unemployment and poverty, there is still a relatively high birth rate. Fertility rates in India continues to be around 2 today. But we also know children become parents and are forced to grow up prematurely in many of our societies, and are therefore prevented from enjoying their own childhood. And what implication does this have in their own viewing of childhood and the ecosystem they create for their own children? The diversity of life experiences in many ways challenges us to review our own understanding of family from time to time, and also to recalibrate how we can be of assistance to families and children alike. I once asked a child, "Where do you come from?" And prompt came the answer, "Asia." I was struck by this answer because this child had never gone or left his village. And I asked her, "Why do you say so?" And she said, and he said, "This is where I was born, but I would like to work in East Asia." So the continental home influenced the way that this child was shaping his reality and was looking at the support of the family. All of us working with children know this reality, and we know also implicit in this is a responsibility that we have, not only in shaping a child's ecosystem, but also being able to do it in the way that children want to harmoniously grow and retrieve from the richness and the experience and the abilities we have in making their ecosystem more rich and enhanced. In the ethics education program, our early work focused on looking at the whole repository of values that our religious traditions and our cultures offer. But at the end of almost 18 months of work, we looked at a framework in which these values could be placed. The first part of the framework is assisting the child to understand herself or himself, as well as understand others. And this revolved around the values of empathy. You heard in the plenaries our children asking us to understand and practice empathy more. The other, of course, I think the world of faith, the world of religions always speaks about this approach of putting rights and responsibilities together. Mahatma Gandhi said, the Ganga of rights emanates from the Himalaya of responsibilities. While clearly knowing that we have our very important contributions and work to do so that the rights of children are realized. We also know it is helpful for us to expose children to know how they can give back, how they belong to a family or the larger family society and give back. So the second part of the framework within ethics education program is about the role that children can play in transforming the world. And I would leave you with this framework, and as we go on, I think we can see how we can empower our children and enriching their spirituality in the context of understanding themselves, but also being active participants in shaping the world that is their home.